The northern lights are beautiful, but their shadow just deleted my town. If you've paid any attention to everyone's posts the last couple nights, every other photo is of a brilliant aurora borealis in the peaking silhouettes of the pine tops. I haven't posted any photos yet. I wanted to wait to see if anyone eventually comes forward. I don't think I can be the first. There's a danger in sticking out your neck for the marauders, for the mobs. I made it up to Sister Bridges in the conifer bog that birthed the big Crow-Wing River and feeds the Mississippi. There's no one there in Sister Bridges. It's not on any highway or important body of water, but I suspect in the old days they used Run Red Creek to dog the timber down to the mills. Maybe 10 or 15 miles off the highway and a mile outside of Sister Bridges city limits, I noticed, for the first time, way out there in the foggy distance, a kind of cosmic escarpment across the upper skies, undulating scarlet and emerald curtains. There were stranger flashing tendrils of pale ghost light, here in the heavens, now there in the heavens. It was my first time. I was in awe. If you've witnessed this miracle, you've sensed the sublime, pulled over on the side of the road I just watched. There didn't seem to be anyone out tonight. I hadn't noticed any headlights in the better part of an hour. So I stood there, stupefied, in a swampy landscape of shore willow and sedge and naked cottonwoods, and I drank my eyes full. Those deep magentas. After so long, however, the shapes began to change. It was almost gradual at first, for a moment. The curtains seemed to give way to a dome-like structure, a dome that ascended higher into the zenith until the roiling emeralds and ghostly white tendrils at last broke through. Abruptly, something was cast to the earth. Beneath the enormous coil of plasma, a black so black I could hardly look at it. I blinked in the blue-silver darkness, rubbed my eyes. It was as if the aurora had cast a shadow. Only its shadow was a bottomless blackness without any shred of light, and where it moved across the bog, it seemed to leave itself behind, seemed to take the world with it. Weaving a massive sightless tear that was not a tear in the earth, but in my vision, in reality itself. I stumbled back, felt the ground swell and buck, nauseating. A noise. It was swelling, rising, an awful sound like 1,000, crying angels, hungry ghosts, toneless, every tone, every possible pitch. The world spun as I threw myself back in the car. Out the passenger window, I could see the dome in the northern sky opening wider. All those strange and timeless figures, beasts before flesh, shape before form, weird titans without bodies, flow gauzy and monstrous from the opening at the center of the sky. And the world below, just gone. I watched old farmsteads wiped away in the blackness. I saw the creek swallowed up in the shadows. I drove like a madman. By midnight, the shadows had surged somewhere over the horizon and abated. I stopped in at an all-night truck stop, a quiet little place on a sleepy county road, an hour south of Sister Bridges. The man at the front counter was wearing a checkered button-up shirt and patched jeans. He was gray, balding, hunched. When he looked at me, his eyes were cobalt and cold, small eyes. A shallow stare. "Sir," I panted. I was still in total panic. I needed to see if I'd lost my shit completely or not, so I immediately pulled out my phone and pulled up the photos of the aurora shadows of the sublime dome. "Sir, I need you to look at this. Do you see what I'm seeing here? Do you see it? Is that what it is? Are these things?" I pointed at the screen as he leaned in over the counter to check. "See? There. There." He looked for a long time. Then he straightened up. He stared at me with those shallow cobalt eyes, his small eyes. "That's the shadow of the lights," he said in a wheezy kind of tone, like you'd see dust or sawdust if he coughed. "The shadow of the northern lights." "Holy shit," I moaned. "It's the end. It's the end of the..." And then the man opened his mouth to speak, and the noise of the aurora spilled out. Deafening. The rending pitches of wailing angels, 10,000 coyote choirs, and shrieking hyenas. It was all there. The man wailed and wailed. I cried out, covered my ears, and fled. I didn't know what else to do. I drove straight south. I know how isolated those woods are, but someone has to have witnessed something like this. Scrolling, you'd never know it, only here's the thing: I have photos. I have proof. And tonight, the Northern Lights will be back. That's what they're saying. The Northern Lights have a shadow. But there are more than light and shadow. There is something beneath the skin of this, beneath the scab. Pick.